The Madlanga Commission will hear the testimony of attempted murder-accused Vusimuzi Matlala when it resumes today. Matlala, who was originally scheduled to appear before the Commission on the 1st of September, is expected to spend today and tomorrow in the witness box. Let's now cross to SABC News Anchor Sakina Kamwendo and our reporter Canny Maphanga for more on the story. Sakina?
Well, thanks so much, Leanne, and welcome back to the Bridget Mabandla Justice College. Of course, joined by Canny Maphanga. Canny, it's day 160, and we've already seen heightened security here for the anticipated appearance of Vusimuzi Matlala. And he, of course, is returning. The last time he was here, incidentally, you and I had a word with his legal representative about another matter that he was appearing in, of which he was very confident at the time, but the timelines haven't quite worked out from what was said then. So what are we expecting today?
Well, absolutely. Alleged cartel member Vusimuzi Matlala is quite critical to the Madlanga Commission because he's at the heart of Lieutenant General Nkwazi's allegations, or July allegations, because it was him who was alleged to have enjoyed all of these high-ranking relationships with high-ranking SABC officials. And of course, he was accused of allegedly bankrolling the alleged ambitions of Police Minister Senzo Mchunu. And once the PKTT closed in, it is alleged that that was part of the root cause behind why the PKTT had to be disbanded. Now, at the time of his previous appearance, we do know that there are multiple criminal trials that Matlala was facing. But at the time, the focus is obviously on the Medicare 24/4 case. We do know that he's on recess for the attempted murder case of his former partner, but that's the PKTT case. The Medicare 24/4 case becomes important because that's the case that IDAC was handling. We've seen over the advancement of the IDAC evidence that significant questions of credibility have been raised about IDAC's interest in crime intelligence matters, especially from the tail end of Ramsami's evidence, where she has alleged that the Medicare 24/4 case was being used to allegedly target high-ranking generals by any means necessary. So the plea deal is something that Advocate Van den Heever would want access to, because seemingly it is pointed to evidence that shows that the kind of steps that were taken in the crime intelligence case, that is the Medicare 24/4 case, was riddled with illegalities. And that's how Ramsami states it. So the legal team of Matlala is in a beneficial position at this point because they've now been given that material which shows that at the very least these cases, there are serious questions of credibility and legalities in terms of the processes in which they sought to take this matter to court, even down to the fact that certain requirements per the legislation in order to engage IDAC's mandate and to advance to authorizations had not taken place at the Medicare 24/4 case. So I don't see a scenario where Matlala's legal team will proceed on evidence that could possibly incriminate him in a matter that has been severely discredited before the Madlanga Commission and could be discredited before the courts.
We have to go. Just very briefly, if he should decide through his legal team, of course, Vusimuzi Matlala this morning, to invoke his right not to self-incriminate, where does that leave the Commission given the time pressure that this Commission is under?
Well, the Commission has a lot of evidence about alleged cartel member Vusimuzi Matlala, not only through other witnesses, but also through WhatsApps themselves. So they could speak for themselves without having to hear further evidence. But there is that risk of a self-incrimination in a matter which already is falling apart before not only the Madlanga Commission, but is under review in terms of the criminal process. So I don't see a scenario where his legal team will want to entertain that particular subject if it runs the risk of him incriminating himself before the Madlanga Commission.
Well, 9:30 a.m., that's when we will see the Commission's hand in terms of how they intend to proceed with the matter involving Vusimuzi Matlala here at the Madlanga Commission. For now, it's back to you in studio, Leanne.